Am I quite literally filming this while I'm waiting for my food to cool down? Yes, yes, I am. It's October, and two really weird things are happening today. Okay, first of all, it's 80 degrees outside right now here in sunny San Diego, which, yeah, I'm pretty pissed off about that. It's October. The rest of the continental United States, I feel like, is enjoying fall already. Meanwhile, we are here baking in the sun like it's summer still. And there are places already breaking out Christmas decor. Like this time of year feels like it should be the best time of year for me, but it's actually my personal hell. Second weird thing that's happening today. Day of our Lord, October. I don't know why I looked at my watch. It doesn't have the date on it. What's today's date? The 18th. It's October 18th. Filming my Techo Kaigi. I know it's really, really early for this, but let me explain. I am going to be traveling for pretty much the entire month of December, okay? I'm leaving the States on December 3rd, and I'm not coming back until well into January. So I will not be here to film anything, to upload anything. I mean, I still could while I'm abroad, but I am choosing not to do that because I'd rather not. So you're getting my Tetrikagi really, really early, but that's okay because I've been thinking about what I want to use in 2024. Oh my God. You know what? Like literally earlier this week, I was typing up meeting notes for a work meeting and I put the date as 2024. I'm not okay. I have known what I want to use for my 2026 Techo Kaigi, my planner lineup, my journal ecosystem, what have you. I have known for quite a while now. Honestly, the only thing that has been keeping me from not telling y'all about this is just like timing. Someone was going to be like, why the hell are you talking to me about 2026 in September? Absolutely fair. But here's the thing. If you watched my last like ecosystem check-in video, was really not happy with my ecosystem, and I'm still not happy with it because I'm still in that ecosystem, which makes me amply more excited for my 2026 system because it really feels like a good fit for my current place in life. Will that change sometime in 2026? Perhaps. You never know. Given this a lot of thought, really been excited about what I have collected for 2026, and I'm really excited to share it with y'all. So, without further ado, here it is. Okay, hello. We all know how much I hate this sort of filming setup, so just be patient with me. Also, the microphone is clipped to my shirt currently, so if there's rustling, it's just because I'm a mobile girl, okay? I move around a lot. I have two piles of books here, and I know it's a lot. So I'm kind of sort of gonna speed run it. I don't know. We'll see. If this takes a half hour, it takes a half hour. But basically, there are two piles, and there's two piles for a reason. These are going to be my everyday carry notebooks, like the ones that I will be in every single day, writing in every single day, hopefully, hypothetically. And these ones are more of like a, when the time comes around that I need to be in this journal, this is that pile. So I'm going to start with this one because I think the everyday carry pile is the one that most people care about, which fair. And then we'll go into these other, so many books. And you can click out if you're not interested in hearing about all of these goddamn moleskins. Okay, so this first one, you've seen this before. We all know the story. I got this from a very kind person on Instagram who had not opened theirs, and I was in search of this, and they resold it to me at a very decent price. They also threw in, oh my gosh, it was so sweet. They also threw in one of the pencil boards, and we all know how much I love the pencil board. So super shout out. I believe their name is Frank on Instagram for this cover. Every time I see it, I'm like, wow, people are awesome. People are really nice. But what's in this cover? It is not a Hobonichi. There is no Hobonichi in this video. Spoiler alert. Sorry if you were coming here thinking, oh, she's got a Hobonichi. Nope, she's Hobonichi free this year. Inside my A6 One Piece notebook is a Sterling ink common planner. Wow! I did extensive research on this. I knew that in 2026, I wanted to use an A6 horizontal weekly planner. It had a similar layout to the Hobonichi Weeks, just in an A6 size because the weeks is just like too large for me. I just there was a lot of empty space. I was not using it to its fullest potential. And so I wanted to downsize to an A6 for daily planning, like, chores, to dos, errands, and all of that, which I think is going to be a much better fit. So this is the Sterling Ink A6 compact horizontal weekly planner. And that will make more sense as we actually look at the spreads. We're going to just do a little flip through. There's not a lot to look at. I have been doing collages at the beginning of all of my journals recently. I just find it really fun. I've been printing out pictures from Pinterest and then also collecting other ephemera and stickers and whatnot and just throwing it together. And I feel like it sets the mood, the vibe. I'm not using this page yet. Maybe one day in the future. This is like the goal breakdown page. And then for the yearly tracker, I will be using this to track my menstrual cycle. The quarterly priorities / vertical calendar I've been using to track birthdays, holidays, other big things. So that could just be seen at a glance. I might use this for like travel planning. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. So I'm going to try to travel more in 2026. We'll see. We shall see. Holidays are really important because I work corporate and we have to utilize paid time off as much as possible. Okay, so again, this is like my everyday, serious, like day-to-day activities planner. So it'll have major, I don't know, events, I guess, that are more pertaining to like my personal life and my work life. The structure of this planner is that all of the months are at the front, so that's what all of these smaller tabs are for. Like I can really easily switch to, say, June by using the June tab. Da, da, da. But they are all up front here, as you can see. And also all of the tabs that you'll see in my notebooks are from randy.plant. I will link it down below. I had so much fun putting these in, and they are so handy to just like use the tab to flip to the correct page. If I'm fumbling about, it's because like I'm at a distance from my notebook, but when I'm like really close up, it's easier for me to navigate using the tabs. Anyway, the month tabs correspond to the actual weekly spreads. So the way that I have sort of cordoned off all of these pages is I've split in half the left side, which has the weekly spread, and the left column has events, birthdays, holidays, all of that good stuff. If I have like appointments, that'll go here. And then if there's any like daily attached to-dos, it will go on the right column on this left page. So as you can see, I said I'm going to pay my rent and utilities on this day. The business keeping side, I found that I needed a place to write daily to-dos, like attached to a day. In my Hobonichi Weeks, it was more of like a running to-do. And there were just days where I wouldn't check in on my Hobonichi Weeks. And so then like events or tasks that I needed to do would kind of get forgotten. So I'm hoping that this system means that I will forget a lot less. And then I will still kind of keep that running list going on this right page. I've sectioned it off into 4 little pieces. So any work to-dos that I have to do, any like chores to do, any errands. I put it under silly little treat because I just had this sticker and I was like, I'm just going to use these stickers. But this is like errands that I have to go run, and I might get myself a little treat while I'm doing the errand. And then any other like plans, what's going on next week, and that kind of thing. So I've set up a few of these weekly spreads. Again, I'm going to be gone the entire month of December in a completely different place. So what I did, is I actually set up like a bunch of December spreads in the back pages. There's like a good amount of blank pages in the back. And what I did was I just set up similar spreads in the back for the entire month of December. And then when when January comes around, I'll just go back to the beginning. So that's how I've dealt with the fact that I'm not going to be here in December. The other thing that I wanted to show y'all is I'm going to seriously do an adulting log this year because it's actually, I really needed it and I have not been keeping up with it. Like, for example, my dog got fleas and I had to talk with the customer service rep of Brevecto and be like, hey, why does my dog have fleas? You said my dog should not have fleas. And basically had to come up with all of the dates that I gave her dosage in order to get a refund. And I had to basically search through like my email and my journals and whatnot in order to find the dates. I would like that all to live in one place. And I've had an adulting log set up in my journals for like years now. But this 2026 is the year I finally freaking stick to doing an adulting log, manifesting. Like, that is how it has to be. Period. End of story. That is pretty much it for my Sterling Ink Common Planner A6 size. It's not very exciting. It's, again, just to keep me organized when it comes to all of my daily to-dos and life things. I have a bunch of stickers here. Again, they're all from Randy.plans, which is hilarious. This should be like mostly a business planner, like me being a responsible human adult planner, if that makes sense. And then this big chunky boy. So I actually ordered this on accident, and ooh, you can see my face a little. I ordered this on accident. I wanted a B6 slim horizontal weekly planner from Sterling Ink, and I accidentally got the B6 complete common planner, which is a new one that they launched. And while I did not intend to get this planner, I'm actually really glad that I did get this. I think it's the only planner of theirs that comes in a hardcover. And while I have some gripes about the hardcover, which I'll talk about in a second, I've been gravitating more towards hardcover books in general. So that was like a pleasant surprise despite my huge error. So yeah, this is the brand new B6 complete planner. My major gripe with this is that the band is on the inside. I don't know if y'all can see this because I have the plastic cover over it, but the band is on the inside. When it's not being banded around the front cover, it like creates a little bit of bumpiness, so you have to stretch it out and over the back to avoid that. I am worried about eventually the band, like, I don't know, interfering with these tabs that I have up here. Like, there's a little bit of a gap, but I don't know. I am a little worried about that. I know there are a lot of people who have feedback for Sterling Ink this year. I know there are a lot of people who have paper quality issues. I will say, like, I'll show you my swatch pages really quick. I did not experience a lot of swatch issues that are unexpected. Like, a lot of these are expected bleed throughs. I have been keeping up to date with a lot of the Common Planner Sterling Ink buzz, and a lot of people are not happy with the paper quality this year. But I think that's just like how Tomoe River paper has been overall. It's not a Sterling Ink unique thing. It's just everyone's Tomoe River paper sucks. The complete planner is, as it's described, like a complete planner. It has a lot. So I'm just going to like flip through and show you all the structure and how I've set it up. This is supposed to be my media tracking journal. And I know you're thinking, you're like, why did you choose the bigger size? Why is the responsibilities journal smaller and bigger size for the media journal? I didn't plan for this, okay? It's just how it's happened. So bear with me. It was too late to correct my mistake of getting a bigger planner than I intended. So we're pivoting. I'll show you how I pivoted. But this is how it's going. Like I said, I've been doing collages at the beginning of all of my journals. So here's this collage. And then I actually am using the goal breakdown page in this journal. I haven't finished filling it out because I haven't really fully conceptualized the goals that I want. But I know that like I do want to read a certain amount of books, watch a certain amount of movies, and then complete my own personal curriculum. So I'm sure you've seen that going around the internet currently, creating your own personal curriculum and doing like learning outside of school. That's something that I definitely have always done, but I'm formalizing it and sticking to the quote unquote curriculum mindset that a lot of folks are talking about. So I'll show you more about that in a second. I have no idea what I'm going to use this page for. Might be like a overview tracker, do little dots or whatnot for when I read, watch movies, that kind of thing. We'll see. I don't know. Oh, and another thing is I will not be taking this journal with me when I go abroad in December. So there's going to be like a week or two, like 10 days of missing dates or information that's in this journal. Not the end of the world. I've made peace with that. And then for the quarterly spreads, I'm using this as a tracker for my personal curriculum. So I chose 2 online courses that are self-guided and then 2 books that I want to complete within these 3 months, this quarter. So what I've done is I've color-coded them. So for the classics of Western philosophy, I've used a very dark red, and I've listed out for every single month, these are the lessons that I want to go through. And same thing with this Problems of Philosophy MIT course, like I want to complete these exercises within these months. And so on and so forth. With the books, it's very similar, right? I have Sophie's World and Either Or that I want to read in this quarter, and I've just listed out certain books or chapters within these novels in order to get through them, because they are dense, chunky books. Sophie's World not so much, but Either Or for sure. And so I'm hoping that breaking it out like this will be helpful, and then I'll track when I actually do complete any of these things on the study tracker page. I haven't yet filled it out for the rest of the months because I'm going to see how this first quarter goes, and then if this goes well, like this setup, then I will continue it onto the next quarters. But for now, let's just set our standards really low and see what happens. I will be using these extra double pages for talking about my favorites. So I started doing that just for funsies, but I think like actually logging it and like printing out things and talking about it in a dedicated spread would be really fun. There are these weekly vertical spreads, and I do not use vertical spreads at all. So what I did is I actually took a Sakura jelly roll in white, and I whited out pretty much like all of the times. Like you can see it says 10 here, but it's whited out here. I literally went through and I whited out all of the numbers on this page. And I'm hoping that like I can take notes here on the media that I consume, particularly the personal curriculum, just like major learnings and whatnot, reflections would go on this page. And then for the daily pages, this would be directly logging like, okay, I watched this movie this day and here's how I felt about it, and here's the poster of the movie, or here's an album that I'm loving, or a book that I finished. That's what these daily pages are going to be for. And I know that it's like a lot of space, but I've just been really enjoying talking about the media that I have been enjoying recently. I brought it up in my unhappy journal ecosystem video where I'm using my daily pages as a place to talk about the media that I like, which is not the purpose of the daily pages. Like that's supposed to be like memory keeping and processing feelings and whatnot. And so my solution to that is that I will split it out, and all of my media ramblings will go in this journal, and there's lots of space for me to talk about it. So hopefully that will do away with that habit. And yeah, that's how this journal is primarily set up with the weeks. The complete planner does a monthly overview, 2 blank pages, and then it starts on a week. And for that week, you then get the daily pages, which I think is really nice. In comparison to the Hobonichi planners in particular, I know that it's like in different sections, which works for some people, but this, for me, works logically more to have everything for a certain date in one place. So yeah, that's the common planner setup. I do have some pages in the back. So first of all, I'm going to do a 2026 TBR project. I'm going to write down all of the books that I physically own and have been on my wish list on this page. And hopefully by the end of 2026, more than half have been crossed out and read. My goal overall is to reduce my physical TBR to less than 30 books. I'm only at 100 right now-ish, like 110 books, which is a lot still. But having read 200 books this year alone, I think that I can reasonably reach this goal, but we'll see. And then the rest of these pages are also just log pages. There are a lot less of these blank pages in the back of the complete planner, which makes sense because there are so many pages throughout the year. With the few pages in the back that I do have, I have created my reading log. So same thing as always, rating and then title and author of the book. And I've given myself quite a lot of pages because I did have to tip in more pages for my Hobonichi last year. And then movie log gets 2 pages. Hopefully this will be enough. And last but not least, TV shows log, 2 pages. Hopefully this will be enough. And yeah, I know it's a lot of extra, very extra. All that I'm using this giant journal for. Like it's a chunky boy. But I'm really excited because I think that I've been really wanting to yap more and journal more about the media that I've been consuming. And so, yeah, that's what this will be for. All right, last but not least, this is my new Mossery journal. First of all, is this not the cutest cover on earth? I saw it and I was like, I have to have it. It has to be in my possession. And the best thing about Mossery, not the best thing, but one really, really nice thing that I was very happy with is that you can customize it. So I just put Mars there. And it's so cute. Oh my God. It's just, look at that. I love looking at this. I'm not using this journal yet, but I look at it every single day. It is just too cute. In here, I have a Mossery grid insert. So it's like a refillable system where you just buy a new notebook and you put it in this cover every time you finish a notebook. What I'm using this for is going to be my daily pages. So we're going to start out with a collage here. Again, this is the grid insert, but it does come with like a number of extra fun pages at the beginning here that I haven't really done anything with, in case you're interested or curious about Mossery notebooks. I will say the paper quality is really nice. It's very white, as you can see in comparison to other notebooks. And it's not Tomoe River paper thin, but it's still like, it's thinner than MD notebook paper, and it's pretty smooth, which I like. So the way that I'm going to use my daily pages is I've actually gone through and made all of these spreads for like the entire month of December, because again, I'm going to be gone. I want my journals to be set up and ready for while I'm abroad. This journal will be going with me while I'm abroad. And so I've set it up for the entire month of December, and then I think the entire month of January, or at least well into January. And what I intend to do is I'll still have my monthly collages for my daily pages here. So that's like memory keeping in terms of pictures, like all of the significant events or things that I took pictures of in that month. And then for each daily page, there are 3 main sections. So the top part here just has like a log in terms of how I'm doing bodily, I guess, mentally and physically. So I'll write something about how my sleep was, what my mood is for the day, and how I'm feeling physically, just because I am getting older. I'm not getting any younger. And I feel like my body is changing and I need to track it and just really keep up with that. This section is more of daily to-dos and things to be aware of. So I want to write down the weather. My health is heavily affected by the weather every single day. So keeping track of that is really, really helpful for me. Any events and then daily to-dos. I'll transfer this over from my Sterling Ink Common Planner and make sure that if there are any tasks that need to be done, that will go here. And then I've designated this giant space here, word vomiting, daily pages, memory keeping, how I'm feeling, all of that stuff. That will go in this major section. And yeah, so that's what my daily pages are going to hopefully look like for 2026. I might change it up, and if I do, I'll certainly let you know. But I'm, again, using Randy Dot Plan's daily stickers for the dates, and then just using a mechanical pencil to draw the lines, and then this is a fountain pen ink. I've been using Diamine fountain pen ink in different colors, and it's been really fun. So yeah, that's that journal. Very basic, very nothing special at this point, but I am really, really excited to use it. So yeah. Okay, so those are my everyday carry journals. They are, look how cute they look, like in a spread. They're just the mood, the vibe for 2026 is this like red moment. I'm gonna call it now, for me at least. And yeah, I look forward to using this stack. It's just, I get so happy when I look at it. So, that's a good sign. Okay, we are going to kind of speed run this final stack because you don't need to know too much about it. These are just all my, again, miscellaneous journals that I don't use every single day, but that I use regularly enough that they needed their own journal. So, gaming journal is still alive. This is a B6-ish sized. I mean, it's like slightly larger than an A6, but slightly smaller than a B6. I think it's, no wait. Yeah, it's slightly smaller than B6. I think it's called the small size Moleskine. It's a lined journal if you haven't seen it before, and this is where I journal about games that I play and do any tracking or information that I need to have on hand for reference. Super dorky, I know, but it is indeed a thing that exists. And then we have my two commonplace journals. I know, why does she need two? This one is the one that actually leaves the house with me. So if I go to, for example, a book club, this was a book club that I went to earlier this month. I wrote down my ideas and thoughts about the book in this top part, and then you can see in the messy notes, like that's me in book club writing down notes about what I've learned and what other people have said. So this is the journal that leaves the house with me and that I will use for reference if necessary, or if I'm writing in this journal about one thing and then need to write about another. I know, slightly psychotic, but it's okay. This is my main commonplace notebook. I'm like a third of the way through it, so I'll probably continue using it in 2026. But basically, yeah, this is where I write down notes about books and other things. It's mostly books at this point because my life is 90% books. Those are my commonplace books. I did a flip through of these in another video if you're interested in seeing how I set them up. And then this is my junk journal, my sad little junk journal that needs a lot more love. Like, yeah, I just kind of have thrown things in here without doing too much decoration, and I would really like to do more decoration, so I'll come back and I will actually fill it out more, but this is where I've just been pasting things in with the idea that someday I will be decorating and talking about the things that are pasted in here more. And then this is my curriculum journal. So this is where I've been taking notes on the courses that I've been taking. So I'm still working on the introduction to the theory of literature. It's very dense. This is a Yale online course that I highly recommend. But this is where I've been taking notes, and this is more of like the commonplace / I think it's the Cambridge note-taking style setup, where there's a margin for you to actually like write notes about your notes. This is what I've been writing all of my curriculum notes in. I know I keep saying notes. It's literally just a bunch of notes. And it's been really fun. I've been really enjoying doing this, just growing my knowledge and the way that I think about things in this day and age when education is so important. Okay, and last but not least, this is a Muji A5 binder. I've had this for years and I used it primarily in grad school, but I have revamped it to be my curriculum holder journal. There are some online courses that I want to take that they have all of the course materials available for free online. So what I did is I printed it out on A6 paper for me to read through and enjoy. And I think currently I have 3 courses in here. So I have from I think these are all from MIT. So contemporary literature, problems of philosophy. This is classics of Western philosophy. I need to print out the syllabus and put it at the front here because that's what I put at the front of these. Gotta have the syllabus, of course, always at the front. And then contemporary literature for British novels. So yeah, these are the things that I described in my personal curriculum. Just printed out. It's here to flip through, to mark up, and whatnot. What I did is I bought uh, 2 reams of Kokio blank A5 hole punched paper. So this is the Kokio brand, and I'll link it down below. You can just like set your printer to print on A5 paper and then set the margins to keep in mind that there are holes on one side. And then you can just print on A5 paper like you would with letter size paper or A4 size paper, which is something that a lot of people probably already knew, but I just learned how to do. And I am obsessed. I love it. Look at this. Is this not like super fun? Um, I'm a huge freaking nerd when I get really excited about course materials. I've done 30 minutes of yapping. My voice, my throat hurts. I want to go to bed. So yeah, those are all of the journals. How many is that? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my God. 9 journals that I plan on having on my desk in my life, in my somewhat daily regular rotation in 2026. If you made it this far, thank you. I hope this made sense and that you enjoyed it to a degree. Um, if there's anyone that you want me to talk about more or flip through, let me know in the comments. I will do that. Hopefully, maybe we'll see. I make very little promises. I will leave off. I just want to leave off with looking at this one more time. It's just so cute, okay? Look at it. It's just so cute. I cannot. The bunnies. The bunnies holding hands in a circle as they dance. Like, I can't. Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching and for listening to me ramble about all of these freaking notebooks. I appreciate you. I hope you have a good rest of your day and a good rest of your week. I'll see you next time. Bye, friends. Also, fun lore drop. This is a Behemoth shirt. I do like Behemoth. I won't say I'm a huge fan of theirs. The only reason I have this shirt is because I bought it for my ex's birthday, and he decided to call me crazy 2 weeks before his birthday. So I said, anyway, I'm moving on with my time, and I'm going to keep the shirt.